Okay, welcome guys to the session in the Pune user group. So we are doing session in every week from February, March, and April. So we have this session as well, integrating graphs powered in Neo4j. Okay, and the agenda is very simple. But before that, let's quickly, if you are new to OutSystems community, let me go through it. So we have already 820K plus active members in OutSystems, 2 million plus app downloads. OutSystems also have multiple programs to encourage developers to start working on OutSystems. So we have an ODC training. So if you want to learn about OutSystems ODC, you can sign up for this training. You can watch videos. You can also access the OutSystems Developer Cloud for 10 days for free. You can try the new OutSystems Mentor there, and you can once you complete the training, you will be eligible for the batch as well. Other than that, OutSystems also has developer schools. So for epic reason, we have a separate developer school happening. It is happening in March. You can also check out for the next developer school by using this QR code or by using this link. Developer school would be a trainer based training where you will have a 10 days training, and you will be eligible for a certification voucher as well. So that you can definitely check out if you're new to OutSystems. But if you are pro on in OutSystems, you are working in OutSystems for some time, you can check out the research program. Hey, can you go on mute?
Three levels actually. So when we create a variable.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so if you are already working in OutSystems, you can definitely check out OutSystems research program, where they'll send you say a form where you need to fill the information. You need to be part of a research, and if you apply for that, and if you participate in the research program, you get awarded. You get Amazon vouchers. You got badges and stuff like this. So you can check out the research program by using this QR code. New to OutSystems Pune user group, we are the organizer of the Pune user group. We have Khijal Sheikh, Neha Sheikh, she will be joining shortly, and me. So we are the organizers and we host in-persons and these virtual sessions in Pune user group. We try to do it weekly or twice in a week. So you can check out the Pune user group. And today's host and speakers, we have Kapil Kozani. So Kapil, I come across Kapil with the help of Amit, but Kapil is one conference speaker of 2024. He has taken a session there, and we have his co-speaker Abhishek Harian, who has around 12 years experience in IT, who is project and technical mentor and Valentic. So I welcome you guys, and over to you guys for the session.
Thank you, Subham. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to all of you. First of all, thank you for taking the time to join this session. We will ensure that it is worth your time and you will learn something new today. In our session today, we will dive into what Neo4j is and how integrating it can enhance our application in OutSystems. Let's discover together how this technology can transform the approach for data management. Before we dive into Neo4j, please allow us a moment to introduce ourselves. My name is Abhishek Haran and I am working as a project and technology mentor at Valentic. I have over 12 years of experience in the IT industry, focusing on innovative solutions and guiding teams towards success. Now, I would like to invite my co-presenter, Kapil, to introduce himself.
Hello everyone. So yeah, as Shubham and Abhishek already introduced me, but I would like to introduce myself as well. I'm Kapil Kojani, currently working as a tech lead at Valentech, and I have been working with OutSystems since last 3.5 years and bring over more than 6 years of experience in tech industry. I have got the opportunity to work on multiple technologies such as Java, .NET, and Angular. Additionally, uh, I stay connected with OutSystems community. I was a speaker at one conference in 2024. And yeah, that's an introduction of myself. Thank you.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh, Now let me quickly walk through our agenda today. We will start with an introduction to Neo4j, understanding its core principle and why it's considered a leader in graph database technology. Next, we will explore the fundamental elements that make up a graph database. We will then compare entity relationship model with graph models to highlight the structural differences and benefit of using graph database. Then relational versus graph database. In this section, we will delve into the key differences between relational databases and graph databases. We will also discuss the specific advantages that Neo4j offers over performance, scalability, and flexibility. And to provide you the context, we will look at some practical use cases where Neo4j has been successfully implemented. Then we will going to explore the connectivity options that Neo4j provides, particularly focusing on how it integrates with OutSystems to enhance the application. And we will then conclude with a live demo to give you a hands-on view of Neo4j in action and demonstrating its capabilities and ease of use. Feel free to ask questions at the end of this presentation. Okay, before we explore Neo4j, let's briefly discuss NoSQL databases. NoSQL, or not only SQL, represents a variety of database technologies designed to handle large volume of data and diverse data types and the need of modern applications. Unlike traditional relational databases, NoSQL database are often schema-less, allowing for more flexibility and scalability. Among the various type of NoSQL databases, graph databases are unique because they focus on the relationship between the data. They represent the data in a graph format consisting of nodes, edges, and properties, which allow for efficient modeling and querying of complex interconnected data sets. Neo4j is open source NoSQL graph database that stands out for its robust capabilities in managing and querying data and their relationship. In Neo4j, data is stored as nodes, which represent entities, and edges, which define the connection between those nodes. Properties, on the other hand, can be associated with both nodes and edges, allowing for rich and detailed data modeling. The defining feature of Neo4j is its emphasis on relationship as first-class entities. This makes it exceptionally powerful in scenarios where the connection between data points are important as the data itself. It's ideal for applications like social network, recommendation systems, and many more. Now let's look in detail what are various elements of graph database. It basically consists of nodes, edges, and properties. Nodes represent entities such as pupil, object, or concept. Each node typically has a unique identifier and can store attributes or properties as key-value pairs. Edges denotes the relationship between nodes, and edges can have a directional or can be bidirectional. They can also have properties to describe the nature of the relationship. Both nodes and edges can associate properties. Properties, because those properties provide additional information about the nodes and edges. So to summarize, there are three key elements of GraphDB that would be nodes, relationship, and properties. Here in this example, Keanu Reeves and the matrix are nodes, and this data is related with the matrix using the relationship, and the relationship is here is acted in, and this relationship also has the property called role. And same way that node Keanu Reeves can also have properties like born, date of birth, name, etc. And apart from the properties, nodes can have labels. Here in this example, we have person and movie as labels for Keanu Reeves and movie node. Now, let's compare an entity relationship diagram of a typical relational database with a graph database. In a relational database, imagine we have movie and person table. To establish a relationship between these two tables, we need to have an additional table called movie person. This junction table helps link movies to people, and this is how the ER diagram would be structured in any relational database. In contrast, a graph database model uh, depict this differently. Hence, each movie and person is represented as a node. Their relationship is directly represented and represented as A's and relationship. In this example, you can see the Keanu Reeves has a relationship with the matrix named as acted in. Similarly, Andy and Joel also have relationship with the movie matrix. This comparison highlights how graph database naturally handles complex relationship, offering a more intuitive and efficient way to model interconnected data. Okay, now let's see the comparison between relational database and graph databases. If we talk about the data models, relational database uses tables with rows and columns, while graph database uses nodes, edges, and properties. Schema flexibility. Relational database has fixed schema with predefined structure. Okay, and on the other hand, graph database has flexible or schema less, ideal for dynamic data. Relationship handling. In relational database, it has indirect relations requiring complex joins, and in graph database it has direct relation between data. In relational database, we use standard query language, while in graph databases, we use Cypher or similar graph query language. Relational database, on the other hand, suited for structural data with clear relationship, while graph database perfect for complex and interconnected data with dynamic relationships. Now, what gives Neo4j its advantages? In relational databases, performance suffers as the number and depth of relationship increases, while in graph database like Neo4j, performance remain even performance remain high even when the amount of data grows significantly. Neo4j is more flexible as the structure and schema of graph model can be easily adjusted to changes in the application. Also, you can easily upgrade the data structure without damaging the existing functionality. The structure of Neo4j database is easy to upgrade, so the data stored can evolve along with the application. Okay, now to discuss about the use cases of Neo4j, would like to call my co-presenter Kapil to take this stage.
Thank you, Abhishek. So, regarding the use cases of Neo4j, it's useful in the places where you have interconnected data, places where you have a lot of relationships. And some of the examples where we use Neo4j would be enhancing logistic operations in social networking websites, in recommendation engines, fraud detection systems, and network and IT operation. Let's look into few real use cases uh, where Neo4j is getting used. So, Transport for London uses Neo4j to manage millions of records, and which helps them cutting uh, the process time of disrupted updates in seconds from minutes. Also, Zurich Insurance Switzerland uses Neo4j to manage millions of nodes and relationships for fraud detection system, which helps them enhancing their investigative process and process it effectively. So Neo4j offers a variety of connectivity with uh, multiple languages, but one that are useful for us in OutSystems would be the JS library that they are offering, the .NET DLLs, and the HTTP APIs. So the HTTP APIs will be useful once you have deployed Neo4j over a server. So, with the help of these library, we have developed two Forge components. That's Neo4j connector and Neo4j connector client. So both of these are available on Forge, and the Neo4j connector is based out of the .NET DLLs that they offer, and Neo4j connector client is from based on JS that they offer. Let's explore these in a demo that we have developed using uh, these two. So before we explore the application, let me show you the Neo4j console. So once you set up your account at Neo4j, you get access to this console, and over here you can create your instances. Each instance refers to a DB in which you can log in and uh, run your query. Uh, So each instance that you create, you get three sets of property. That is URI, username, and password, and the DB name. So these three properties are important for us in order to run our, in order to connect with your database and perform other operations. Once you do a setup, you can use the icon from here, or you can access the workspace, Neo4j workspace directly, and this workspace will provide you with a console where you can uh, start with the Neo4j ciphers and run the query. Let's move back to the application. So we have developed the application Cineplexis. This application is based on the examples that we were talking in the presentation. It's regarding the movies and people who are part of movies. Once we log into the application, we can see a list of movies are getting loaded, and we have implemented the paginations as well on this screen. Uh, let's explore the code side of it. So in our CS module, we have used the Neo4j connector, which provides us with the action run cipher. This action takes three major inputs that I was talking you about. That's URI, username, and password, and a DB name. Uh, these four are important for connecting to your database, and then you have query as input, which is the cipher that we would be using, and this gives us the response in form of JSON, and which uh, we can visualize and use it in our application. Also, the Neo4j client connector uh, also provides us with the uh, two actions, that's uh, run cipher read and write. So here we have separate actions for read and write operation, and both of them takes the same inputs, that's URI, username, password, the query as input, and it returns the response in form of JSON again, and same is for the write action. One more important thing about the client connector is that we need to place the Neo4j block from the connector in the screen in order to load the JS that are required for us to run the actions, the Neo4j read and write operation. Moving back to our application. Uh, so over here we are loading a list of movies. So how would we create a cipher over here? Uh, let's go back to the console. So our read query uh, in uh, Neo4j looks like it starts with the keyword match, and then we will define the
Hey Kapil,
Sorry,
if possible, can you zoom in a little? Like it's
just
very small, the words.
okay, sure. Just a second. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better. Thank you.
Thank you. Uh, so back again. So we started with the keyword match, and then inside parentheses we define the label of the load that you want to fetch. So over here, we want to fetch movie, and then we have used m as an aliases followed by a colon to fetch the movie node. Then we will use the keyword return and then the aliases that you want to fetch. Once you run this cipher, you can see that 38 nodes were returned. So uh, moving back to the application, as you can see, we have only 12 records getting returned on the uh, landing page. To implement such pagination, we use more keywords, that's skip and limit. So skip is used to define the start index and limit to define the number of records that you want to fetch. And on running this query, you can see that we are fetching the first 10 records in our database. Moving back to the application, let's try to explore the detail of a particular movie. Uh, so over here we can see that the movie details and the people who are related to the movies are getting loaded on this screen. So we can update the information for the movie as well over here. Let's try to let me explain how we are getting a particular node in Neo4j. So to get a node in Neo4j, we use the query as we start with again the keyword match. Same way we define the label. Over here, we are using the title of the movie to find the particular node that you want to fetch, and then again the keyword return and so within the curly braces we define the property on the basis of which we want to fetch the particular node, and on running this node you get the node that you want to fetch. Over here you can see that we have the people also who are related to the movie getting fetched. So the query for that would be, so we start with the keyword match, then define the movie, and then we will use the dash and square brackets to define the relationship. Over here, uh, we are finding the people node who are related to movie matrix, and using dash r and dash within square brackets r to define the relationship, and then we are returning the relationship and the people in the node. So this will provide us the nodes that are related to the movie matrix and the relationship as well. So here we are fetching the relationship in order to fetch the data such as the relationship type, and the for certain relationship like actors we have the relationship the property as role that's getting fetched over here, and rest you can see the people who have other relationship the role property is not present. So that's a advantage of Neo4j. You can have properties in the relationship as well. As you can see in our application, we can create record as well. Let's try to add a record to this app over here. Let's try to add an actor. So I've selected an image and let's name this actor as Robert Downey, and born 1990, acted in, and let's keep the role as Tony, and let's add this record. So the data was added to our application, and so a create query was running behind in this application. So a create query over here would look like, you'll start with the keyword create, then over here we are creating a person node. So we define the label and then the properties. over here we are setting the property name and born. Then now we are establishing a relationship that's acted in, and the relationship is with the movie matrix. So the uh, arrow over here defines the direction of the relationship. So person acted, Robert Downey acted in the movie matrix. So that's what it's depicting. And then once the relationship is set, we are setting some properties of the relationship. That's relationship dot roles. We have role he played was Tony. So we are not going to run this query over here since we already ran it from the application. Let's try to update the record from here. So to update the record, we will update it from the console. So what we need to do is over here we will start with the keyword. First we will fetch the node that we want to update. That's the person. Over here we name the person as name. We will use the same property to fetch the node, and then we have the relationship with the movie matrix. This will help us to fetch the record. Then uh, we'll change the relationship to producer, uh, and we are creating a new relationship over here that's produced and setting with the same movie matrix. And then we are setting the new properties for the person. That's the name. Let's correct the name. That's Robert Downey Jr. and born in 1956. And then we will be deleting the old relationship that we created over here. Once we run this query, you can see that one relationship was created, one relationship was deleted, and two properties were sent. Moving back to the application, let's try and refresh. As you can see that the record was updated and the relationship was also updated. As we all know, Robert Downey Jr. was not part of the movie. Let's delete this record. So we will be deleting it from the workspace only. Uh, so to delete the record, uh, we will use the keyword match again, and then we will fetch the person node on the basis of name. That's Robert Downey Jr. And then we use the keyword delete and the aliases. That's person. We over here we have an additional keyword that's detach. Detach is used to delete the relationships as well that the node has with the any other node in the database. If you want, if you don't use detach, what will happen is the record won't be deleted since there are existing relationship with this node. So once we use detach and run this query, you can see that a node was deleted and a relationship as well, that was the produced relationship, that was also deleted in the database. Going back and let's refresh. You can see that the data doesn't exist anymore. And one more important use cases that we uh, are able to do is to create a recommended movies. So we are fetching the recommended movies on the basis of the number of relationships. So the in the movie matrix we have certain people who are related to that movie. Now we are using the count of the relationship with other movies in order to fetch the top 5 movies for the user. So these movies also have the people related to the the movie matrix. Let's explore it in our application. Uh, so over here in the movie detail page we have a action, data action, get recommendation, and we have this cipher that's running. Just a second. Let me expand this. Okay. So what we are doing is we use the keyword match, and we are fetching the movie on the basis of title. So that's the matrix, and then we are fetching using finding the people with the relationships with that particular movie. uh, so we get the person nodes that are related. Now we are using these person and finding other movies to these person to uh, whom these persons are related, then making sure that the movies that we are fetching is not same as the one that have we are already using, and on the basis of count of the shared connection we are ordering we are able to fetch the recommended movies for the user. Let's move back to the presentation. So, in wrap up, I would like to just add that today in this session we covered multiple topics. We started with what's Neo4j, AES elements of graph database, looked into some comparison with the relational database, some advantages, some use cases, and we have explored the application using a demo that we have built using Neo4j. Hope this session was useful, and for more such sessions, stay tuned with the Pune user group. I would like to now begin with questionnaire. If any questions that you have.
Hey, thank you so much, Kapil and Abhishek. So yeah, over for question, guys.
Yeah. So, okay. So, first of all, thank you, Kapil and Abhishek, for presenting this session. It was very nice. And my question is, what are the security consideration when integrating with Neo4j with OutSystem, and particularly regarding the data access and authentication?
I can take this one. So, security wise, once you are setting up your new 4G server, means we would prefer going for an enterprise edition. So the enterprise edition provides you with role based access, the LDAP integration, and other security encryption of data and REST responses. And other thing that you can do is on the server you can set up your firewall, which restricts uh, the users, means no other server can access your Neo4j database. So that way you can ensure security. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Kapil.
Okay, so I also have one question, Kapil. So and Abhishek. See, normally we have SQL Server as our primary database, right? But when we are using Neo4j, so what approach do you guys prefer? Should we use both, like for our in database as SQL and using this as an API or kind of something, or a JavaScript, or directly replacing the SQL database with Neo4j?
Okay, so I will taking this question again. So over here means you need to define, means first need to define what database you have, and then you need to come up with a migration plan. Let's assume you want to do segment of your application, a particular segment that's getting developed or means it's already developed and we are migrating to Neo4j. So we need to develop a migration plan for it, and then uh, set up your database, convert your current SQL database to the Neo4j, and this migration will depend on the size of the data that we are dealing with, and then you can start using Neo4j. And if yeah, or I think so that would be the better approach, going part by part, or you can go complete application as well, but it depends on the size, again size of the database that you are dealing with, how much time it will take for the migration.
Okay. And this Neo4j is completely open source, right? As you mentioned.
So there are, means you cannot say completely open source, means you have the open source that I
Mhm.
just showed you, but they have enterprise solutions as well available, which provides us additional security and additional services. Uh, so yeah, it's like OutSystems. You have two options.
Yeah, I'll definitely going to check out Neo4j after this. Thank you so much for this session. It was very interesting. Yes, Navneet. Prakash.
So yeah, great session, Kapil. Thank you for the session. My question is related to like the Neo.js is more flexible database, right? Like the schema is not defined, but in the OutSystem, we emphasize that it is very highly restricted data sources are there, right? So, what challenges and what consideration you recommend that when we use Neo.js in the out system, what should we take care of uh, points?
Okay, so in that case, I would like to say that so once you are means when I was starting developing the application, one thing that we started was the we had structure defined means in out system when you are dealing with the Neo4j, you set up your database over there, but then you have to deserialize the data in the application. As we can see over here, I'm deserializing the data, and we have the structures. So it provides us a very flexible, as you were saying that it provides us a very flexible way. Over here you can add the properties. Let's assume uh, we have relationship as a reviewer over here as well, and you want to add reviews of the users. So what you can do is you go to the structure and you add that review column and then add your front end. And I think so. That's it. That's the flexibility that Neo4j offers. That once you add a review column over here, you don't need to do anything on the Neo4j end. You just click on write, and it will start adding the reviews for the nodes automatically. Means you don't need to do anything on the Neo4j end.
So it will add nodes to the all old records. Like
No, no.
so, how
That
you handle that in out system? Like if I introduce a new node, right?
yeah.
Or new property, let's say. So, if the old data doesn't have that property, then we need to take care of that in
Yeah.
out system only, right?
Yeah, so yeah, even if we were dealing with some other database,
Yes.
all records we don't have that uh, freedom to add data. So what you would have to do is either create a timer, get an Excel. You can again create a bootstrap for adding that data,
Okay.
or what you can do is you can add data manually. Yeah, it would be a long operation. Means opening each screen, each master table,
Okay.
and then
Okay. So you are saying that we should update all the records in the database with a new node, right?
yeah, you can
Okay.
use a timer or something like that for
Thank you.
adding that data.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think we also have one question in chat. Do we have any key based search as currently we see string search on DB only? Can you show the JSON object which is returned after query? So, as much as the primary key is concerned, in Neo4j, primary key are not enforced in the same way as we have in relational database. Neo4j is actually a graph database, and its architecture evolves around nodes, relationships, and properties rather than rows and tables. So, while you can have a unique identifier for nodes, you typically use indexes or constant to ensure uniqueness on specific properties. And Neo4j does not inherently have a primary key constant, but offers a unique constant that we can use. And a couple, if you can show the JSON object as well.
So okay, so means over here in the workspace, you can look into tabular data, and you can see that inside the raw data, you can see what was returned, and if you have set up your cipher. So I have the uh, I haven't set up it in my application, but the Forge component provides us with a demo where you can view the complete JSON as well. We'll try some test queries, but here you can see this is how the uh, data is getting returned. It's uh, this much detail won't be returned in when you are running the cipher, but the data, the JSON data would look like this, something like this. It would be having some IDs, but yeah, Neo4j doesn't, as Abhishek said, Neo4j doesn't recommend to use those IDs. Instead, you create your own unique identifiers.
Okay. Rahul also has a question.
Yeah,
Okay. In the meanwhile,
yeah. So
yes.
thanks. So my questions to Kapil. What are the limitations one might face when integrating Neo4j with the OutSystem?
So on the limitations front means I would say yeah we are dealing with an external database, and uh, the transaction times will be definitely a bit more than the one that we have in build. But when you are dealing with very large database, I would say that won't be an issue. But and then other thing is that OutSystems provide seamless integration with the uh, SQL tables, and uh, you have the CRUD operations already ready that you won't find at Neo4j. You have to develop them separately, and yeah, that could be a few drawbacks that you will face with Neo4j.
Okay. We have some questions in Q&A section as well. You guys can check these.
Yeah. Hmm. Sorry, Shubham, I think so we aren't able to see the questions.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let me check. So Nani was asking, do we still need to archive the database for performance?
So archiving is necessary in cases that when your database is too means it grows, and there are certain information that's not useful. So it's a good practice that you do with any database, means because at the end some information that we are keeping is uh, let's assume you are working with an insurance industry. There are some claim processes going on, and after certain time these claims are closed, and keeping those into your database and in the database, that's uh, going to increase your uh, the overload. So it would be better to archive the data here as well. But as Neo4j says that on the large amount of data as well, the performance of the query don't doesn't gets affected. So yeah, that's uh,
Okay, and we have one more question. So for foreign key, we can manage with relationships. How can we maintain primary key, or we need to maintain it or not? I guess Abhishek has answered it, but if you
yeah.
can quickly summarize it.
Yeah, so yeah, what again it's what Abhishek told, that Neo4j does returns an identifier in response in the JSON, but it's recommended to maintain a primary index or primary key at your end. So over here we were using the title of the movie and the name of the person as in order to fetch the data, unique data, and it's better to maintain at your end. The Neo4j suggests.
Yes, Navneet.
Another question is related to transactional records, like how Neo.js maintain the transaction, because it is a NoSQL database, right? So
Yeah.
rollback or the stuff we had in the RDBMS, how we will do in the Neo.js.
So Neo4j means make sure that the transactions are maintained. Means though it's a NoSQL database, but it does provide the does works on the asset properties that we have in relational database. So yeah, it does provide the transactions that we need to maintain.
So in OutSystem we can use rollback or transaction as we do with the uh, SQL, or the some other methods are there for that.
Uh, so, so I haven't explored that part for front at present, but yeah, as Neo4j said that they do provide the transactions, so there would be some other queries that you want to use in order to roll back your transaction.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Amit also has a question. So does Neo4 support complex queries like CTE?
So a simple example of CT was when we were means trying to fetch the uh, recommended movies. Over here, what we did. Sorry, uh, in the query. Uh, first, just a second, let me zoom in. Yeah. So in the first part of the query, we were fetching the movies, people, and that will act as a CT, or means you can say that we watch the all the person, and then we are finding the person movies that are related to those person. So this over here is acting as a CT. Uh, what we do in our relational database.
Okay. Yes, guys, any more questions we have? Okay, we have one more question. Can you guys hear me? Mm,
Yes.
yeah, thank you. So yeah, we have one more question. Without foreign key while searching, if any spelling mistake or space mistake is in search keyword, how it will going to retrieve the data?
So, uh, means if I get it correctly, means uh, see over here we don't. Uh, explore this query that was over here. We were using the relation acted and finding the person with the movie. Um, let's assume you misspelled this relationship. So the workspace itself started giving us the error, but when you are writing this uh, in the what do you say in the out systems, yeah, it won't return a response. We will relationship we will get some this the error in the response, that's the provided relationship in the database doesn't exist. You correct the relationship name, and then you will get the correct response. You got the all the people who are related to the movie. And same is in the case of the title. And let's assume you are fetching the movie node, and you didn't write the name as correctly, and returning that node, you won't get the data. So, okay, sorry. Let me start the parenthesis. And we run. You, so, no records were found. And if you correct the name, then you can hit the query again, you will get the correct data. So
Okay. And okay, Nani is asking, can you show how to create a nodes and relationships in Neo4j?
okay, so just query or create. So this was the query that we were using. Create person with we use the start. We use the keyword create. Then uh, we define the properties in the means we use the label person, and then we define the properties. And then if you want to set up the relationship, you can, since we are relating it to the movie matrix. And then we use, means if you want to set the roles for that particular for any property for that particular relationship, you use the keyword set, as we use in SQL, and then you set the that particular property for that particular name. If you if I want to see over here in our application, we are creating a code. So this one is the get query. Get that. Save cast into action. You can see that we are running the add action. So yeah, this is the query that we are using. So yeah, again movie title, and then we create the person and the relationship, and yeah, we are putting the node over here. And if so, over here I have added a if condition that if we are using acted in property, so we would have role as well to set. If it's not acted in, then yeah, we don't need to set the role. So we use an empty space. So that's how we are handling it in application. I hope I answered the question.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you for these questions. If you have any other questions you would like to ask, Kapil and Abhishek, you can ask. Okay, you can reach out to them on their LinkedIn as well for any for future questions related to Neo4j if you are trying to use it yourself. Thank you so much, Kapil and Abhishek. It was a really nice session. Let me quickly share my screen as well. So, but before that, let's take a quick picture. So if you guys can come on video, thank you for attending the session. And yeah, you were really good participant. You were asking really good questions. So if you can come on video also, you can take a quick picture. Thank you, Rahul, Sachin, Shravan, Navdeep, Snehal. Hello, Aditya, Nani. Okay, let me quickly take the picture. Thank you so much. So yeah, this part is done. Thank you. Now, okay, since this session is over, now we have one more session next week. So before wrapping up this session, let me quickly show you what we have planning for next week. Are you guys able to hear the audio?
No.
No, Shubham. I don't think so.
Okay, let me quickly reshare with audio. Yeah, I can see the option now. Okay, I hope you know Nuno Reis. He's a 10-time MVP now. So we are planning a session with him. Let's hear it from him himself. Okay.
Hello everyone, I'm Nuno Reis, the number one OutSystems mentor and now in my 10th year as an OutSystems MVP. I'll be speaking at the Pune user group on March 8th on the topic Building a Path to the Top in OutSystems. It is a virtual event so anyone can join us. In this session, I'll share my journey along with valuable tips and strategies to help you grow your career and reach the top in OutSystems. Don't miss it.
That's it. Thank you. So yeah, this is the session we are planning on 8th March. Build your career in OutSystem, reach the top of OutSystems. So he's going to guide and showcase his journey, whatever he have achieved till this point, how he have achieved this, and tips and tricks about OutSystems and stuff. So thank you so much, guys, for joining this session. Hope you guys have got a very good knowledge of NoSQL databases and Neo4j. Thank you, Abhishek and Kapil. Thank you, Amit, for organizing this. See you guys in next week.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.